So, you're elves from ancient times, before the Tevinter Imperium destroyed Arlathan.
The Shemlen did not destroy Arlathan. We Elven warred upon ourselves. By the time the doors to this sanctuary closed, our time was over.
Wait, that's not right. What are you saying?
You would not know truth. Shemlen history is as short as the pool of your years.
What did the Imperium do then? Are you saying it wasn't a war?
The war of carrion feasting upon a corpse, yes. We awaken only when called, and each time find the world more foreign than before.
This is interesting.
It is meaningless. We endure. The Vera Belasan must be preserved.
I'm really glad that Dorian chimed in there, because I was a little confused by that as well.
What is this Vera Balasan exactly?
It is a path. One walked only by those who toiled in Mythal's favor.
He speaks of priests, perhaps.
More than that, you need not know.
Our people have lost everything. They need you. They could learn from you.
Our people? The ones we see in the forest, shadows wearing Valisleen. You are not my people.
Wow, somebody has a superior
And you have
complex.
invaded our sanctum as readily as the Shemlen.
We knew this place was sacred. We've respected it as best we could.
You know it's true.
I believe you. Trespassers you are, but you have followed rites of petition. You have shown respect to Mythal. If these others are enemies of yours, we will aid you in destroying them. When this is done, you shall be permitted to depart. And never return.
I'll admit the idea of fighting the last of their kind does not thrill me.
Consider carefully. You must stop Corypheus, yes, but you may also need the well for your own.
Refuse Sentinel's offer. Refuse the Sentinel's offer. We will ally.
I accept your offer.
You will be guided to those you seek. As for the Vera Belasan, it shall not be despoiled. Even if I must destroy it myself.
No!
Morrigan!
And there she goes.
He said the elves destroyed themselves before my countrymen came along. Could that be true? I can hardly believe it.
This would be our guide.
Mytholanast.
That's helpful, since Morrigan chased off on her own.
She's worried about this well, not Corypheus.
She turned into a bird.
She turned into a bird. Okay, good. I think the Bioware like sped up the guide's speed
Place
because
looks untouched.
The entire temple must have looked like this long ago. How could the elves pour such devotion into this nonsense?
Yikes! Ooh, the 4 sentinels. Ah. There's Calpurnia.
Close. The well knows its vessel, and those who would despoil it. Stand aside, Inquisitor. The trials you set me, I have overcome. As a courtesy, leave now. Or not at all.
Yeah, we need to talk, Missy.
No, Calpurnia. We have things to discuss.
True. I did not think you so civilized. You serve your people. You have one last chance to save them. The Well of Sorrows overflows with knowledge, power abandoned by those the elves worshipped as gods. To walk the Fade without the anchor. That is what the Well of Sorrows will give Corypheus.
Why would Corypheus think entering the Fade will work any better than last time?
Speech without understanding. I knew you would take the well for yourself, to ransack its wisdom to try to defeat Corypheus. But you'd still be just a child, playing with a sword. Corypheus will wield it as a master.
Yeah, well, I've got news for you, honey.
Once you've drunk from the well, Corypheus will use a ritual on you. You'll be a mindless tool, enslaved to his will.
That... where I come from, idle tales must be proven.
Here, the page with his binding ritual. You tried it on your master, Erasthenes.
That's something Andy didn't do.
How could you know? And these runes, no one has written in these since... He made so many promises, and everyone a lie! Then he discovered Vas! He was to give Tevinter a true leader. If Corypheus would misuse me, he'd misuse them too. I was blind.
Perhaps Tevinter does need a strong leader. Be that woman while you can.
You mock me, Inquisitor, as if you'd let me walk away.
It's a good idea. Maker knows we could use a reformer or 10 back home.
True.
Corypheus triumphs. Listen, if any power can challenge him, it lies in the well. Perhaps its price is too high, but if you can take it, humble him. Vitae Benefaria, Inquisitor. Do not follow us.
Yeah,
I will give you some
interesting.
time. I go to confront my master. Then I will return to Tevinter. If there is anything left of me.
Wow, we passed through a whole battle and acquired a staff of corruption. We completely bypassed the battle with that. Well done, Elle. Well done. That is definitely Elle's style.
You heard his parting words, Inquisitor. The elf seeks to destroy the Well of Sorrows.
So the sanctum is despoiled at last.
You would have destroyed the well yourself, given the chance.
To keep it from your grasping fingers. Better it be lost than bestowed upon the undeserving.
Yeah, that superiority complex.
You'd let your people's legacy rot in the shadows.
Corypheus needed Calpurnia to use the well. Without her, there's no vessel to claim it.
The moment we leave, he will send more forces to secure this place. The well clearly offers power, Inquisitor. If that power can be turned against Corypheus, can you afford not to use it?
Do you even know what you ask? As each servant of Mythal reached the end of their years, they would pass their knowledge on through this. All that we were, all that we knew, it would be lost forever.
This can't be easy holding on to what's left.
You cannot imagine. Each time we awaken, it slips further from our grasp.
Why remain? Why perform a duty without purpose?
You have shown respect to Mythal, and there is a righteousness in you I cannot deny. Is that your desire? To partake of the Vira Belasan as best you can? To fight your enemy?
Not without your permission.
One does not obtain permission. One obtains the right. The Vira Belasan may be too much for a mortal to comprehend. Brave it if you must. But know you this. You shall be bound forever to the will of Mythal.
Bound to a goddess who no longer exists, if she ever did.
Bound
About that.
as we are bound. The choice is yours.
Is it possible this Mythal might still exist?
Anything is possible.
Elven legend states that Mythal was tricked by Fen-Harel and banished to the Beyond.
Elven legend is wrong. The Dread Wolf had nothing to do with her murder.
Murder? I said nothing of...
She was slain, if a god truly can be. Betrayed by those who destroyed this temple. Yet the Vira Belasan remains. as do we. That is something.
Are you leaving the temple?
Our duty ends. Why remain?
The Imperium went to great lengths to expunge Elven history. You might be the last to know the truth.
Would the elves of your lands listen to the truth?
They might. Would it hurt to try?
It very well may, Shemlin. Yes. It may be that only Uthenera awaits us. The blissful sleep of eternity, never to awaken, if fate is kind.
Thank you, Abelas.
Thank you for this gift, Abelas.
Do not thank me yet, Shemlin.
You'll note the intact Illuvian. I was correct on that count, at least.
Is it still a threat? Can Corypheus use it to travel the Fade?
You recall when I took you through my Illuvian, I said each required a key? The well is the key. Take its power, and Mythal's last Illuvian will be no more use to Corypheus than glass. I did not expect the well to feel so hungry.
Let's not be reckless. I don't want anyone hurt.
I am willing to pay the price the well demands. I am also the best suited to use its knowledge in your service.
I do not like this. She is far too eager.
I do not hide it. To restore lost knowledge, I would risk much.
And what would you do with it? You could be worse than Corypheus.
So, paralyze yourself for fear of what might be? I can give nothing but my word.
That's, that's true.
Of those present, I alone have the training to make use of this. Let me drink, Inquisitor.
Sure, why not?
You alone? This is my heritage.
I have studied the oldest lore. I have delved into mysteries of which you could only dream. Can you honestly tell me there is anyone better suited?
Dorian?
What about you, Dorian?
A human from Tevinter scoops up the last bits of elven knowledge? I know why you ask. I know it's important, but I can't be that man.
Okay, well.
Perhaps you're right.
I am. You know I am.
You're not concerned about the price. Bound forever to the will of Mythal.
Bound to the will of a dead god? It seems an empty warning. Perhaps a compulsion yet remains. Who can say otherwise? I do not fear it, even so.
Are you sure you want this, Morrigan? We don't know what will happen.
We do not, and yet it must be done.
Okay.
I am ready.
For better or for worse, Elle trusts Morrigan. She's very trustworthy. And
Thoughts?
It all seems ghoulish. Let Morrigan use it, if she wants it so much.
If it is truly between you and her, then let her take the risk.
Oh.
Make her help us all.
So many voices. They would be in your head, talking over you. You don't want them.
Enough deliberation.
Well,
decision.
everyone unanimously said, yeah, Morrigan should drink it. Like, everyone in my group was saying, yeah. So I'm thinking we'll have to have her do it.
Looking at it, listening to it. That's not just knowledge from the ancient elven priests. It's their will.
How would you know such a thing?
That's what Abelas was telling us. The collective will of the priests puts anyone who drinks under a compulsion, a gas. Can't you feel it?
That would match the legends, but it does not tell us what the gas entails. I would still use the well, but you are right. We must be cautious.
Yeah, you can call it being naive, but Elle trusts Morrigan.
It's yours.
And we're gonna see... Well, we know what the repercussions are of this by now, but... I didn't realize that drinking from the well requires you to actually get into it. I would probably just, you know, scoop. I think most people would just take a scoop with their hand and not just go wading into the very same... Like, if you're in bathwater, if you're bathing in bathwater, I don't think I would start... Anyway, well... I guess it's more dramatic this way.
Morrigan! Are you alright?
Elasin Salah. Visan Allah. I am intact. There is much to sift through. But now we can...
There we go. And there he is. His villainous Khan!
The Illuvian!
Gah!
Through the mirror!
Feel bad for Corypheus at this point, because we're just kicking his sorry hiney left and right. Like, every single thing that we've done to try to take him out has pretty much succeeded, and one of which, you know, we were able to solve without even getting to a boss fight. Yeah, you know, whatever. Well, we're home.
It is done.
I'm pleased
Whoa,
to
you guys
report
are...
we won the battle, Inquisitor.
You guys are
When
back
went
here
through
already?
That mirror, Corypheus and his archdemon fled the field. I'm not sure why.
What he wanted was no longer within the temple.
Perhaps. He spent so long trying to get into the temple, he probably couldn't have helped his forces by that point.
Then Corypheus is finished.
If he is wise, he will hide and rebuild his strength before he attacks again.
He will not hide.
You guys were just in the Arbor Wilds. How did you get back here so quickly? I mean, we got here quickly because we went through the Illuvion, but you guys didn't go through the Illuvion. What's going on? How are you guys already here? What? Whatever.
Meaning he will attack us directly at Skyhold.
Not necessarily. But neither will he remain idle.
And how could you have such insight into his plans?
The Well of Sorrows held many voices, and they speak to me now from across the ages.
Creepy.
They hold wisdom. Secrets I never dreamed possible. But even they fear what Corypheus has become.
Should we fear him more than his army?
Possibly. Luckily for you, he has a weakness. The dragon he calls is not truly an archdemon. It is a dragon in which Corypheus has infested part of his being. He doubtless did so out of pride to emulate the gods of old. That pride can be exploited. Kill the dragon, and his ability to leap into other bodies is disrupted. He can be slain.
You're sure? If there are no bodies for him to jump to...
You assume there is a limit to the range of his power. There is not.
Then what do you propose? Killing the dragon is no simple task, if it could even be found.
There is a way to defeat the dragon, to match Corypheus in his power. The well whispers it to me now. Your help will be required, Inquisitor. Speak to me when you are ready, and we shall begin.
Very well,
I'll
Morrigan.
see to Skyhold's defenses in the meantime.
But before we do all that, there's priorities. Priorities. There's something I must do first, and you all know what that is.
Though all
Hi,
before me
honey.
is shadow, yet shall the Maker be my guide. I shall not be left to wander the drifting roads of the beyond. For there is no darkness in the Maker's light, and nothing that he has wrought shall be lost.
A prayer for you?
For those we have lost, and those I am afraid to lose.
You're afraid?
Of course I am. Corypheus possessed that Grey Warden at Mythal. What more is he capable of? It's only a matter of time before he retaliates. We must draw strength wherever we can. When the time comes, you will be thrown into his path again. And Traste preserve me. I must send you to him.
Oh, Colin! I have good luck. You're my good luck charm.
There's nothing to worry about. I have luck on my side. Remember.
That's less comforting than I'd hoped.
Oh,
whatever happens,
that's so sweet.
You will come back.
Cullen, you don't have to.
Allow me this. To believe anything else would... I can't.
So well done, Greg Ellis. Good job, Greg Ellis. He hits every single one of the romance scenes. But it would have been cool if Elle was able to kneel down and pray along with Cullen, because she is a religious Andrastian person, but maybe next time.
It comes swiftly, this moment that will be spoken of for ages. The day the Herald of Andraste challenged the Darkspawn that thought itself a god. Defeat him, and you'll be more than a holy woman to the people. You'll enter legend.
If it's true, may the Maker judge me worthy of the honor.
And there is the modesty people respect. People joined the Inquisition after hearing you were blessed, but they've stayed because of how you lead. I wanted to tell you that I shared their sentiments, Inquisitor, and... well, I suppose I just did.
Thank you, Josie.
You've always been there for us, Josephine. And for me.
It means much to hear you say that. Farewell, my lady. When you face Corypheus, may you walk in the light.
Thanks, Josie. That's too sweet.
Any news on the House of Repose, Inquisitor?
Yeah, let's talk about you now, because we need to make sure that we save you from the assassins.
How exactly does one turn farmers into members of the upper classes?
There are procedures for granting honored citizens of the Empire the title of Lord or Lady. Very long procedures. And so much paperwork. I've called in a substantial number of favors just to cut through half of it.
How exactly does one turn farmers into...
Very long.
Why did the Duparaquets hate the Montiliers so much they set up a permanent assassination watch?
There's not much more beyond what I mentioned before. A Montilier and a Duparaquet fell in love. A young couple, pledged elsewhere, attempted to elope. The whole thing ended so violently, it's a wonder any survived. It's fortunate the Duparaquet's descendants hold no grudges.
I have to say, Josephine's ability to multitask is amazing. Like, here she is having this conversation with Elle while she's writing. The entire time she's writing whatever it is she's writing. I don't think she's writing what she's speaking. She's actually, like, having a conversation and writing completely different sentences on a piece of paper. That's just impressive.
What if the Duparaquets refuse to aid you?
I've already contacted the Duparaquets, Inquisitor. They're ready to help us. It will be a long road, but a lordship is a chance to restore a proud lineage to their heirs. Besides, I've promised them a heavy bag of coin once this is over.
Are you sure the House of Repose will forget this assassin contract on a farmer's signature?
It's perfectly legal. In Valroyo's noble circles, a written word is a bond. Besides, the guild would never risk being so unspeakably crass.
These assassins are afraid of being seen as impolite.
Breaking one's public oath or bond implies a certain poverty in Orlais. A common merchant may lack the resources or manners to fulfill a debt, but among the guilds, it would be shameful.
Fair enough.
What's the next favor we need to get these Duparacats a lordship?
We need a judge of the royal court to procure documents acknowledging them as nobility again.
Okay, getting a judge fits favor operation available. Alright, we're gonna have to get to that in a moment. But first, we have a lot of people we need to talk to, I think. Let's see if other people have new things to say.
So, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around this. We went to an elven rune, so a witch could consume a pool of magical goo and then walk through a mirror, and wound up back here. Have I mentioned that the shit that happens to you is crazy? I don't want to think about this anymore. You want to discuss something normal?
Looks like we got nothing else. Alright.
Carry on.
We've already played cards with Varric. I think that was probably one of the last things that we can talk to him about.